Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite athletes of all time, Bo Jackson. We've got Iconic Al of YouTube channel Iconic Baseball that's going to help us go through these cards. And I am also going to go through some of my stuff here. Stick around. Hello to all my sports card collectors, investors, all of my collectibles friends. It's another day. It's another card video. I hope that you all are having a great weekend. If you're new here, you're looking for basically daily sports cards, collectible style content, you have come to the right place, my friends. Hit the big red button down below, the subscribe button. Also, if you like what you hear, please hit the like button. Helps us to spider these videos out to the card masses. Also, connect with me on IG at SportsCardDad. And I'm also on the old Twitter machines firing off tweets. Pew, 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 pew. The Sports Card Dad. The second part of this video is going to be run by Iconic Al, and you guys have to check out this guy's YouTube channel. It is Iconic Baseball. I'll put a little picture. I'll put a link in the video description as well as in the comment section. But this guy is a vintage baseball wizard, and I met him at the National, just an overall really good, solid guy. And I want to really kind of share his channel because he just has great information. It's entertaining, all the rest of it. So you got to check out Iconic Baseball today. And like I said, he is going to be on the back end of this video. All right, guys, we're talking about Bo Jackson. And if you're like me, I was born in 81, you're 40-ish. Bo Jackson, Barry Sanders, these were the guys. These were the guys that were everything. And so I want to first show off a couple things that are in my office that I look at occasionally. I get off of a rough call and I'm like, you know what? Life is dumb. And then I look at my office and I'm like, actually, it's pretty damn awesome. So starting lineups, let's start there. And this is something that's kind of fun. If you go back in time, I mean, this takes me right back to Toys R Us, going back to 1989, 1990. I remember going through, Toys R Us used to have like a million different players of these. And Bo Jackson was always one of the coolest ones, especially on the football side. I'm a Saints fan, never a Raiders fan, but always liked the black and silver. And it's just kind of a cool starting lineup. And then you've got the Royals version for all of you baseball fans out there. Anyway, Bo Jackson, larger than life. I like looking at these in my office. All right, the cards. All right, so Al is going to reference the baseball cards. He actually does reference the football cards here in a little bit, but I'll just kind of show the ones that I've got. I do have an 88 Topps rookie card and cannot find it anywhere, so that's kind of a problem. But a 9, I believe, is only in like the $40, $50 range, so I might have to get another 9 because, like I said, I don't know where it is. That's a problem. That's an inventory issue we're going to have to go over. All right. First one, 89 scores supplemental. This is such a cool card. I've got this in a 9. I want to have it in a 10. It's on the bucket list as well to have in a 10. But just like this, again, this kind of goes back to childhood. These were at the card shops and very expensive. This is like a $40, $45 card in a PSA 9 these days. They used to sell this in a set. I actually got this set for Christmas, like Christmas 1990. I got it. Actually, I saw this underneath the tree. So I can visualize actually the Christmas tree, and I saw 89 score underneath the tree. And I'm like, oh my God, my parents got me a complete set of 89 score football, Barry Sanders, Troy Aikman, Deion Sanders rookie cards. And it was the 89 score supplemental set. Sterling Sharp, Bo Jackson here. Still an awesome set, but I was like panicked. I almost had a heart attack as a 9-year-old thinking I had like a Barry Sanders rookie card. All right, 89 score, Bo Jackson just straight up. Again, this is kind of my favorite set really of all time. I joke with some of my hobby friends that when I pass away at some point, I want 89 score football sprinkled into my casket. PSA 10, there's about 200 of these. This is what, like a $150 card maybe, $175. But just an awesome kind of picture of Bo. And again, like Barry Sanders and Deion, they're all rookies in this set. They get a lot of the fanfare. But Bo Jackson's got a really cool card in the set as well. I've got a 9, and then I've also got a 10. So sorry, this is the 9, and I've got a 10. The 10 is about a $150 card. The 9 is probably a $40, $50 card. And this is kind of a crown jewel for me for Bo. So I wanted to get a nice auto, exquisite auto. I got this last year at a good price point. And this is exquisite Bo Jackson on card in a BGS 8.5 with a 10 auto. It is numbered out of 20. Bo Jackson's auto is not super rare, but exquisite is such an awesome set, kind of an iconic set, whether you're looking at football, basketball, or whatever, and was happy to get this at a good price point. All right, without further ado, let's bring in Al. Roll it, guys. Okay, switch it. Switch it.
Thank you, Dustin. Iconic Al here with Iconic Baseball. Today we're talking about a guy named Bo Jackson. Why was he so special? Why is he still so iconic and collected in the hobby? Well, I think it's about crossover appeal. I think it's because he's still the only person to ever be a Major League All-Star and an NFL Pro Bowler. I think it's because he was a cultural revolution, a Paul Bunyan type of figure, someone who was a celebrity, someone who was larger than life, who did things that were amazing. And if you look at the videos, he was a guy that hit for power.
The pitch from Morris. Here's one that's hit a mile and a half. Oh, almost out of everything. Almost clear out of the ballpark.
He could throw.
That's into right field. That's a can of corn. Bo Jackson is there. As here's a throw, Gallego tagging, and Bo gets it! What a throw by Bo Jackson!
He could run.
At the 9. And Bo Jackson to the 20 and out in front, and only one man to beat, and easily can't run him down. He had the angle, but there goes Bo, and nobody catches Bo.
He had flair.
Not talent. Orsolak licks that one to left center field. Bo on the charge. Bo is there. Yo, mama, love that ball.
And he was a cultural icon.
Don't I know you? Nice shoes. Yo, Kansas City one. Are you sure we haven't met before? Now, where's that Tour de France thing?
Bo knows baseball. Bo knows football. Bo knows basketball, too. Bo, you don't know diddly.
Today I'm very excited to unveil my list of the top 5 most iconic Bo Jackson cards in the hobby. Now, Dustin and I collect very different things. He's more of a football collector, more of a football fan. He likes the all-time greats. He collects Drew Brees. He likes pop culture items like graded video games and Stranger Things. I like baseball. I'm a baseball fan, baseball collector, and I focus my collection on the all-time greats and the most iconic ball players in baseball history. Now, the Venn diagram of what I collect and what Dustin collects doesn't overlap a whole lot. But where does it overlap? With Bo Jackson. That's where we both agree, or we're both drawn to a guy like Bo Jackson, because he truly does have that crossover appeal that I was talking about. Baseball collectors are drawn to Bo Jackson, football collectors are drawn to Bo Jackson, and people of our age, like I just turned 40 this year, and I think Dustin is around my age as well, and we got to talking at the National, and he is the pop culture figure that people of our generation really gravitate towards. He has that mythical quality about him. Now, this Beckett magazine is from June 1990, and brings back a lot of nostalgia for me, and probably for a lot of people that grew up and came of age in the hobby around that time. And we'll revisit this image later. But let's get right into the cards here. My top 5 most iconic Bo Jackson cards in the hobby. And now, full disclosure, I don't own a copy of all these cards. I'm going to kind of rely on Dustin for a few of these, because I assume he has a couple of these in his collection, being more of a football guy. So I'm going to start with number 5, which is his football rookie card. I'm going to put the image up here. Now, the 1988 Topps football rookie for Bo Jackson is number 327, and it's a very affordable card in a PSA 9. It's a high population card, junk wax era. There are 3,672 PSA 9s, which is why you can find it for $45. It's not an expensive card in a PSA 9. Now, like many of Bo Jackson's cards in a PSA 10, different story. There's only 555 PSA 10s, and it'll set you back about $1,000. So there's a big value play, I think, for PSA 9s right now. It's a very, pretty good price point to get into a Bo Jackson rookie card. Or just buy raw if you just want the card. That's totally fine too. Those are very cheap. Number 4 on the list is another card I actually don't have. It's the 1987 Classic MLB Game, number 15, Bo Jackson. Now, this is a really cool card because it actually pictures him with an Auburn hat, in his Auburn football jersey, his football pads, and he's holding a baseball bat. So that's pretty cool. It's one of these dual, multi-sport cards, of which we're going to touch on more of that as we go into this countdown here. But the 87 Classic MLB Game, a much lower population card than his traditional Topps releases or Donruss. There's only 346 PSA 9s, which is a pretty low population for PSA 9 in the junk wax era. You can get a PSA 9 of that card for about $150, which is not a bad value, I don't think. For PSA 10, the price goes way up. Only 114 on the pop report, and that's an $1,100 card in a PSA 10. So again, I think the value lies in a PSA 9. I think that's a pretty good value for a card with only 346 on the pop report. A very iconic pose, incorporates both baseball and football. Great crossover appeal. So that's the number 4 card, 1987 Classic MLB Game. Okay, number 3, we have the 1989 Score Supplemental, which actually came out in a football set. Again, I don't have one of these, but I assume Dustin does. This is a football release, relatively, modest population. There's only about 1,000 9s and 500 10s. You can own a 9 for only about $40, so it's a pretty nice budget card. And again, multi-sport, cross appeal between baseball and football. It's a nice image of Bo Jackson. It's one of those iconic images of Bo Jackson that people want to own. A PSA 10, actually pretty reasonable. Looks like they're going around $200, and there's only about 527 on the pop report, so it's not ridiculous. Probably one of the more affordable PSA 10s of these Bo Jackson cards I'm going to go through here. All right, number 2 is, now I'm going to get to both of the baseball rookie cards. These are the ones that I own because I'm a baseball guy. But his 1986 cards are the ones that I tend to focus on because, in my mind, the 86 ones are his true rookie cards. He has a bunch of 1987 cards that people call rookie cards, but in my mind, the 86s are his true rookie cards because they came out a year earlier. Now here we have the 1986 Donruss The Rookies. My personal favorite in terms of value. I think it has a comparable eye appeal to his Topps Traded, which I'll just show you real quick here. It's actually the same image, the same picture. The Topps Traded is a lot more high profile. There's a lot more of them on the pop report. There's been about 10,000 of the Topps Traded graded, as opposed to only 2,800 of the Donruss The Rookies. Just for reference, the Topps PSA 10 goes for like $500, $400. The Donruss, this guy, only goes for about $150 in a PSA 10. I actually think there's value in BGS 9.5s right now because nobody likes BGS. So in my mind, that's actually a further value play. Find some BGS 9.5s because nobody likes BGS right now. And I think I picked this up for about $80. And I'm ecstatic. I love that card. It makes me happy. And it's a gem grade card for $80 of a card from 1986. A true rookie card of Bo Jackson. That one. And I'm putting both of these cards at number 2 because they're both the same image and they're both baseball rookie cards. This is my 1986 Topps Traded. This one happens to be autographed. So it isn't graded, but it is autographed. And so I like that. I didn't have a Bo Jackson autograph in my collection and picked this up a few months ago for $150. And these aren't ridiculously expensive cards, but extremely iconic. This is the 50T 1986 Bo Jackson baseball rookie card, autographed. A nice, clean autograph on there. Slabbed by PSA, authenticated by PSA DNA, and I love it. I think it's great. So I'm going to collectively put his 2 baseball rookie cards at number 2. And number 1, without further ado, as foreshadowed by the Beckett magazine in the background, I think his most iconic image and his most iconic card is this 1990 Score, number 697. It's a baseball card in a baseball set, and look at it. I mean, that black and white image, football pads, baseball bat across the shoulders. I mean, doesn't get much more iconic than that. So that, I think, is the most iconic Bo Jackson card And it really isn't very expensive. You can pick up a PSA 9 of that card, about $30-35. Really, it's a pretty high population. There's 5,500 of them graded 9, so it isn't rare, it isn't scarce, but it is iconic. And that's kind of what I like about Bo Jackson. Is like you can get most of these cards for relatively cheap, unless you need a PSA 10, which personally I don't. There it is. A PSA 10 of this will set you back about $250. I think that's a bit high for that card, given that there are almost 3,000 of them. I would, given the market conditions right now, wouldn't splurge on cards like that because they aren't scarce. And if the market weakens, there's going to be more and more of them out there. Add the card if you want, but be cautious with cards like this because they're a high population. Anyway, that's my take. Those are the 5 Bo Jackson cards. Oh yeah, there is actually one. I'll call this a miscellaneous card that I always liked growing up. I wouldn't put it in his top 5 most iconic, but Bo Breaker. Bo Jackson was known to break bats over his knee when he got, let's say, frustrated with his bats. Let me just show you a quick clip right here.
And the 0-2. And Jackson that is strikes out.
So yeah, that's a card that I remember as a child having that in 1991, and really that kind of encapsulates his Paul Bunyan mystique, breaking a bat over his knee. Like, who does that? Who can do that? I mean, it's just kind of a crazy thing to do. But anyway, I'll give that an honorable mention in my countdown. Put that at number 6, or alternative Bo Jackson iconic card. Anyway, that's my take on Bo Jackson. If you're into the most iconic ball players of all time, collecting baseball, feel free to follow my channel, Iconic Baseball.